Hello and welcome back to another channeled message of the day. My name is Cassandra. I'm so blessed to be here with you today. I'm an intuitive, a spirit guide, a tarot reader, all of these identities that don't really matter, but there you go. That is something that I have learned and that I've really detached from is being this or that or this title or that. And so that right there could be a channeled message for you is really don't get too caught up in the identity of especially what you do for work or your business or whatever it is, because that is not what defines us. What we do does not define us. It's who we be. And so I'm happy that you be with me today. And we are pulling from the tarot of the Dance of Souls. I love this deck because it has some classic tarot cards in it, but then it also has some more like oracle type of cards, you know what I mean? So let's see what comes through today for some inspiration from these cards for this message that you have maybe stumbled upon, or maybe you're following me and you get excited about my messages every day. I'm sure that's the case, right? I'm just kidding. With that said, are you subscribed? Thank you so much for subscribing. All right, so let's see what comes out. Woo! All right, I love this. The first card to come out is Creation, number 33. She's got a little halo around her. Ooh. Okay, what's next? Detachment. Perhaps detaching from the need to identify yourself as someone in particular? Question mark? Just putting that out there. All right, what else here? I mean, clearly I said that for a reason in the beginning. And then we have House of God. House of God, which I believe is judgment, typically in like a classical deck. And then we have Dream. Literally, someone is dreaming here. Number 54. And then we have Games, 73. Creation, detachment, House of God, Dream, and Games. All right, Spirit, what is this message that is coming through for these cards today, for these beautiful people that are tuning into this message? Okay, well, first of all, I'm just noticing the 33 and 77, and that makes 110, which is 11. Which is very much self-realization. These are the things that come through. Also, I'm noticing these pillars behind her, which looks like an 11. Okay. And so there's something that you're realizing about yourself that maybe you've put too much time and energy in that is actually holding you back from creating exactly what it is that you want. What's coming through? I just made a post on Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, about how I broke up with my boyfriend. Literally a year ago, I moved out, and it's still something that, you know, I'm detaching from. So this is coming through because in that relationship, I actually was not able, I felt like there was the brakes, the emergency brakes was on the car, but I kept pressing the gas, and I'm like, why can't I make what I want to make? Why can't I do what I want to do? I didn't get into this tarot or into this type of guidance while I was in that relationship because I was so warped with feeling like I was unhealed, like I needed to fix myself in order to be able to be this leader, that I just had this story around of like, I need to be fully healed, or I need to do this, or I need to, fix myself basically in order to be at the level and even the capacity in order to serve people. But in truth, it was just not the right relationship for me. It wasn't me. And I kept saying throughout the relationship, is this me? Is this us? Is this me? Is this us? It was us together for sure. And that's why some of you are in certain relationships, and this could even be friendships, that are literally feeding into your limiting beliefs. And that's what that did for me, was feeding into the limiting belief that I need to continue to heal. I need to fix this about myself. I need to fix that about myself in order to be the leader that I want to be. But that was just the wrong relationship that I was continuously choosing as I was fighting against my intuition. Rob is here. He wants to say hi. Yep, there's Rob. Bye, Rob. Okay. And then with House of God, that's judgment. That's like looking at yourself like, okay, I can see myself clearly. I can see clearly now. With your eyes shut, right? When you close your eyes, maybe subconsciously, and that, woo! Also, like my life experience is coming through this channeled message because it's potent, and story is the way that we learn the best as humans. It's just the way our brains work. And so I remember my boyfriend would always have dreams, and they were kind of premonition type of dreams where I remember one of them, it was about me and he was being chased by wolves, and I like wouldn't go along with him, or I wouldn't, it was like because of me. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember being like, oh shit, Spirit is speaking to him right now. And by him telling me this, Spirit is speaking to me right now. This is not the right relationship. This is something I need to run away from. Not necessarily run away from like the fight or flight response, but more of consciously choosing something different, which is choosing myself. It's easy to get caught up in games. And to me, like the ego is coming through with games is like playing games. Quit playing games with my heart. Quit playing games with my heart. I should have known from the start. Thank you, Backstreet Boys, for coming through today. And I actually, by not listening to my intuition, was playing games with his heart. Period. And playing games with my heart. But it was not consciously. And this is why being conscious, following our intuition, and allowing ourselves to listen to the bigger truth that we hold, that we are, is so imperative, not just for ourselves, but for other people. I don't regret anything because everything happened as it should have. But in retrospect, there were so many signs. We broke up 4 times, and then it was just this attachment where we just kept magnetizing back together, not through the divine, but through our egoic needs and our egoic attachment to each other. And so this is the channeled message coming through today. If you are in a relationship that's making you feel like you are questioning yourself constantly, like you feel like you need to keep healing in order to be in that relationship, in order to be a good girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, then this is something where you really need to look in the mirror and be like, is this an aligned relationship? Because everything outside of us in life is meant to reflect back to us what we are holding inside. So I kept getting the reflection of I'm not good enough. I need to do something different. I need to do something different. And the reflection of not being good enough is literally it's a falsity. It's not true. Everyone is good enough. I am good enough to be in a relationship, even if I have all of the trauma in the world. It doesn't matter where you are on your journey, you are good enough. Although healthy relationships stem from people that feel as though they have the capacity to be in a loving relationship, to receive love, and not feel like they have to put on a mask in order to be loved. And this is something, look at that mask. She's wearing a mask. And this is something that it took me, it was over 4 years. And so, excuse me for using this personal story of mine, but this is what's coming through of really big importance right now, especially as I'm recording this yesterday/today. It's the full moon in, depending on where you are in the world, it's a full moon in Capricorn, which is like your values. It's your like daily life and how you're spending your time and energy. And it's kind of like that Pentacles, I'm just getting that 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles energy where what are you working on? And I was constantly working on myself and nothing was changing. It was like a band-aid. I would go to like a women's circle and I was like, okay, I can hold the capacity. And my capacity expanded in my nervous system in order to be in an inauthentic relationship. And I hate to say that, but it really was us wearing masks. And so I actually expanded my capacity to lie to myself. And I just expanded that rather than actually looking at the truth of what I was really feeling and releasing the people, the stories, the ideas, the thoughts, the beliefs that were no longer serving me. But I was just trying to make something work that wasn't working. And so although I did so much work, and it really I don't regret any of that. Trust me, there's so much work I've done on myself. I've gone on ayahuasca retreats and I've done all of this, and it was underneath it all, it was me trying to fix something in myself, which now I have totally let go of that idea. Because if we constantly feel like we need to fix ourselves, there's constantly going to be something that shows us that we need to fix ourselves, right? It's a limiting belief. And so that relationship was emphasizing my limiting belief that I needed to heal in order to be a good girlfriend. I needed to heal in order to literally function properly within that relationship. But I was in a container that was, what's coming through was moldy. It was like a moldy container. Although he was the masculine, I was the feminine, I ended up taking on that masculinity because I wasn't, the whole dynamic of just that imbalance of polarity, where I wasn't allowing myself to receive because it just didn't feel right overall. And so let this be your permission slip, although you don't need it, to leave a relationship, to release friendships. Not saying to do this in horrible ways, because I have to say, this guy, I love him, not like as a lover, but as a friend. Like, I will love him forever as a dear friend. We've been through so much together, and I'm not disregarding the beautiful times we've had together. But now, with a more expanded consciousness, I realized I was shrinking myself down. That's why my business exploded. I was able to leave my health coaching job after that relationship. High caliber, beautiful men were coming into my life all of a sudden that I never thought was possible after I left that relationship. I'm stepping up more as a leader. I have a mastermind. Like, there's so much that I'm doing now that I was not able to do then because I was not listening to my intuition and I was not allowing my spiritual psychic gifts to come online. And now I'm more awakened than ever and ready to merge back into the world, society, because I've really been in hermit mode for the past year. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know I just wrote this whole post about it, and so that's why it's so present coming up now. And it's something that a lot of people need to hear. A lot of people have told me they relate to my story, and it's not an easy thing to do, especially after years and years of feeling like you are committed to someone and you don't want to quit. But it's not about quitting, because if you're actually choosing that relationship over yourself, then that is just literally allowing yourself to live in a lower vibration. And that's why I've expanded. That's why God is meeting me halfway. The universe is fully supporting me, because I am now following my heart and following my joy. And anytime you do this, you will be supported. And I was worried financially. I was worried about being alone. It felt like it was death. And so as I had the courage to break through that and to be on my own, I cannot believe it's been a year since I've lived here. I have grown so much. I've stepped into my power, and I've really shown my highest self that it's fucking go time, and this is the path that I truly deserve by actually choosing it. It's not just waiting for God to come down and be like, this is what you need to do. Because for so long I'm like asking for advice. Is this right? I don't know. Making excuses. We definitely need each other. We've been through all this. We were da-da-da-da-da. Like, your ego is, whoo! It is survival. It is a survival mechanism when your ego comes through. And that's for so long what I allowed to lead me in that relationship. So, quit playing games with your heart and allow yourself to awaken. Take the mask off. Look at yourself through the eyes of God. Detach in a healthy way from whatever it is, 77, that's very spiritual, from whatever it is that you're feeling like you are needing. Because if you feel like you need something outside of yourself, that is not necessarily the healthiest thing, especially for our highest path. Our highest selves are like, let's let go of that. Let's let go of that, okay? So we can truly create what it is that we came down here, you earth angel, you, to create. So I hope this message resonated with you today. Please let me know. I am also a mentor. This is actually what changed my life. As I was exiting that relationship, I hired a mentor, and holy shit, it made me realize that I don't have commitment problems. I don't need to heal all of this stuff about me. It's just that I was not in an aligned relationship that was allowing me to live out my fullest authenticity. So when we can really see clearly and see ourselves clearly, it's tough because there's a lot of fog and there's a mask on, and it's like it's working through that ego. That's why meditation and just slowing down, being with your heart, taking some alone time to really process these things is so imperative. So if you are looking for a mentor, I do have one space available. We can meet weekly or every other week. I'll leave the details down below. There's other ways of working with me too. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And I love you so much. Throughout our lives, there are so many relationships that will come and go, and it's all very, very divine. I appreciate my ex for everything he allowed me to actually see in myself, with that polarity of not listening to my intuition and now realizing what it's like to actually listen to your intuition, and then seeing the results of that. The universe serving up the goods, baby. The money, the honeys, all of the beauty. It is worth it on the other side. It is worth it on the other side. I love you, and I will catch you tomorrow.